Have you ever wondered how to truly see a woman's character beyond the charm, the beauty, and the words she speaks? The truth is, anyone can put on an act when the lights are bright and the attention is fresh. But real character, the kind that determines whether she's worth your time, is revealed in the quiet moments, the subtle reactions, the things most men overlook. Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 powerful signs that will expose who she really is. If you pay attention to these, you'll never again be fooled by appearances, and you'll know exactly what kind of woman you're dealing with. Number 1. The mirror of small things. If you want to strip away the mask and see her true character, pay attention to the moments most men ignore, the small interactions that don't seem to matter. It's easy to get caught up in how she treats you when she wants your attention, or how she behaves on a date when everything is going well. But those moments are rehearsed. They're curated. The real test happens in the background when no spotlight is shining. Watch how she treats people she doesn't need. The barista who accidentally messes up her order, the Uber driver who takes a wrong turn, the server who brings the food late on a busy night. If she reacts with kindness, patience, or even simple human respect, that tells you her default setting is grounded in humility. But if she snaps, rolls her eyes, or shows arrogance, she's revealing the darker truth of her character, because disrespect always flows downhill until it finally hits you. Here's the psychological layer most men miss. People don't suddenly change who they are based on the relationship they're in. What you're seeing in those small moments isn't an exception, it's her baseline. If she has a habit of belittling others, it means she's capable of cruelty. And once the honeymoon phase fades, that cruelty won't be reserved for strangers. It will turn on you. But the opposite is also true. If she consistently shows compassion toward people who can't give her anything in return, that's not an act, that's her nature. A woman who respects the unnoticed, the overlooked, and the powerless is showing you her integrity. And integrity is the one thing that can't be faked over time. So here's the truth. Small things are never small. They're the clearest mirror of her soul. Pay attention, because these quiet moments reveal more than any declaration of love or charm ever could. Number 2. The test of silence. One of the most powerful ways to see her true character is not through what she says, but through how she reacts when you say nothing at all. Most men underestimate silence, but silence is a test, and it never lies. When you stop constantly feeding her your attention, when you withdraw just a little bit, you'll see what she's really made of. Does she respect your space, or does she panic and start demanding more? Does she remain steady and grounded, or does she spiral into games, manipulation, and guilt-tripping? Here's the psychology behind it. Silence exposes insecurity. A woman who has built her worth only on being the center of attention will feel threatened the moment you stop giving her your constant validation. She may lash out, test you, or try to pull you back into her orbit with drama. This isn't about love, it's about control. And a woman who can't handle your silence will never handle your strength. On the other hand, a woman of true character will respect the quiet. She will trust you without needing to chase your every word. She won't weaponize your silence or try to punish you for it. Instead, she'll show patience, balance, and emotional maturity. That is the mark of someone who values connection over control. So understand this: silence isn't just empty space. It's a mirror. It reflects back her level of security, self-control, and respect. If you want to test her character, don't just listen to her words. Watch what happens when you stop speaking. Number 3. Words versus actions. Words are cheap. Anyone can say the right thing when it suits them. Promises can be made in seconds, but actions are the true currency of character, and this is where most men get trapped. They fall for what she says instead of watching what she does. Pay attention. Does she keep her word? When she says she'll call, does she actually call? When she makes plans, does she follow through, or does she cancel at the last minute with excuses? Does she apologize for mistakes and then correct them, or does she repeat the same behavior as if her words were enough? Here's the dark psychology at play. Manipulators use words as smoke. They know most people are comforted by hearing what they want to hear, but the truth always leaks through in action. A woman who constantly speaks of loyalty but flirts with other men is telling you her real truth. A woman who claims she values respect but talks down to you when she's angry is showing you who she really is. Consistency is the key. Anyone can act right for a day, a week, or even a month. But if her actions line up with her words over time, that's character. If they don't, that's manipulation. The Stoics taught that virtue isn't in what you say, it's in what you practice. The same applies here. Her character is written in her patterns, not in her promises. So don't get hypnotized by sweet words or poetic apologies. Watch her actions, watch her consistency, and remember this: the woman who keeps showing you who she is, believe her. Number 4, the shadow of gossip. If you want to measure the weight of her character, listen carefully to how she speaks about others when they're not around. This is one of the clearest signals of integrity, because the way she describes other people in their absence is exactly how she will one day speak about you. Pay attention. Does she constantly tear others down, spread rumors, or exaggerate people's flaws for entertainment? If so, understand that this isn't harmless chatter. It's a reflection of her inner world. Gossip is poison, and those who thrive on it reveal their own insecurity. They build themselves up by cutting others down. That's not strength. It's weakness disguised as humor, or just being real. The psychology is simple. People who gossip do so because they cannot handle their own reflection. By shifting the spotlight onto others, they avoid looking inward. But here's the dark truth. If she thrives on drama and secrets, she'll eventually create drama around you. What she does with other people's reputation, she will eventually do with yours. But if she speaks with fairness, even about those she dislikes, that shows integrity. If she chooses restraint, refusing to weaponize someone else's flaws for her own amusement, that's a sign of discipline and respect. A woman of character doesn't need to tear others down. Her presence speaks for itself. So listen closely. Her words about others are really confessions about herself. If gossip fills her conversations, you're dealing with a storm waiting to hit your own life. If respect fills her words, even in private, you've found something rare, a woman whose character is rooted in honor. Number 5, boundaries and respect. A woman's true character is revealed in how she responds to your boundaries, because boundaries are not just rules, they are lines drawn to protect your self-respect, your peace, and your values. And here's the truth, a woman who cannot respect your boundaries will never truly respect you. Watch how she reacts when you say no. Does she accept it with understanding, or does she push, guilt-trip, or try to manipulate you into bending? Does she honor your time when you're busy, or does she expect you to drop everything for her convenience? Does she recognize the limits you've set, or does she constantly test how far she can push them? The psychology is clear. People who disregard boundaries are not looking for partnership, they're looking for control. And if she believes her needs always outweigh yours, she is telling you that your voice doesn't matter in the relationship. This is how men lose themselves, slowly, by allowing small violations until their entire sense of self has been eroded. But a woman of true character will respect the limits you set because she understands her own. She knows that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not dominance. She won't be threatened by your standards. She'll value them because they reveal strength and self-worth. Remember this, love without respect is just attachment, and the first test of respect is whether she honors your boundaries. If she can't, she's not showing you love, she's showing you control. Number 6, the storm test. Anyone can seem composed when life is easy, when money is flowing, and everything is going their way. But real character is revealed in the storm, when things go wrong, when stress hits, when disappointment crashes in. If you want to test her true nature, don't just look at her in sunshine, watch her in the rain. How does she handle conflict? When you disagree, does she communicate with maturity, or does she explode, insult, and weaponize your vulnerabilities? How does she respond to disappointment? Does she sulk, blame, or lash out, or does she adapt and find solutions? What about failure? Does she crumble into helplessness, or does she rise with resilience? Here's the psychology. Adversity strips away performance. In stress, masks fall, and what's left is the unfiltered core of a person. If her instinct is chaos, screaming, blaming, or playing the victim, understand that this is her true baseline. It won't disappear over time. It will only intensify. But if she faces hardship with calmness, patience, and composure, that reveals strength and stability. A woman of character doesn't run from storms. She weathers them with grace. She won't see conflict as a battlefield to dominate, but as a challenge to work through. That is the kind of partner who can actually build a life with you, not destroy it when the winds turn. So here's the lesson. The storm always comes. The only question is, will she stand with you in the thunder, or will she become the storm herself? Number 7. Gratitude or entitlement. If you really want to see her character, pay attention to how she responds to the little things you do for her. Gratitude and entitlement are opposites, and which one she chooses reveals the core of her soul. When you give her a gift, does she light up with appreciation, no matter the size? When you make an effort, whether it's planning a date, fixing something, or simply listening, does she notice and value it? A grateful woman will never take effort for granted. She knows that small acts of care are sacred, and her appreciation reinforces them. But here's the red flag. Entitlement. An entitled woman doesn't see your effort. She only sees what you didn't do. She measures everything against what she thinks she deserves, and no matter how much you give, it will never be enough. Gratitude fuels connection, but entitlement feeds resentment. And once she's entitled, she'll drain you endlessly, always demanding more while giving less. Psychologically, gratitude comes from humility. It's the recognition that love and care are gifts, not obligations. Entitlement, on the other hand, comes from insecurity and ego. It's the belief that the world owes her something, and a woman who carries entitlement into a relationship will eventually poison it because nothing you do will satisfy her. So test her with the little things. If she says thank you with sincerity, if she notices the effort behind the gesture, if she meets your care with appreciation, then she carries the rare spirit of gratitude. But if she rolls her eyes, complains, or acts as if your effort is the bare minimum, understand this. Entitlement never shrinks, it only grows. Gratitude builds, entitlement destroys. Which one she carries will determine the future of your connection. Number 8. Loyalty in absence. It's easy to look loyal when you're being watched, when the relationship is fresh, or when the world can see how she behaves. But her true character isn't revealed in your presence, it's revealed in your absence. What she does when you're not around speaks louder than anything she does in front of you. Ask yourself, when you step back, does she remain steady, or does she start seeking validation elsewhere? Does she protect your name when others speak about you, or does she join in the criticism? Does she remain faithful in her energy, her actions, and her words, or does she treat your absence as an invitation to betray your trust? Psychologically, absence is the ultimate test because it removes accountability. No one is watching, no one is checking, and that's when her real values emerge. A woman without integrity sees absence as freedom to indulge in temptation, but a woman of character sees absence as an opportunity to prove consistency. Her loyalty doesn't depend on surveillance, it comes from within. This is where men often get blindsided. They believe presence equals security, but the truth is, what she does when you're not there is what she will eventually bring into your life. If she disrespects you in private, if she entertains other men the moment you're gone, if she treats your relationship as optional when it's inconvenient, that's who she really is. But if she protects your bond even when unseen, if she speaks of you with respect, if she carries herself with integrity when no one is watching, that's real loyalty. And loyalty in absence is the foundation of trust. Without it, everything else crumbles. So remember, her character isn't proven by how she acts with you in the room. It's proven by how she acts when the door is closed. Number 9, the energy exchange. Every person you spend time with leaves you with something, either more energy or less. And if you want to test her character, pay attention not just to what she says or does, but to how you feel after being with her. Does she lift you up, or does she drain you? When you leave her presence, do you feel calmer, stronger, more focused? Or do you feel anxious, confused, and exhausted? The energy she brings into your life is a reflection of her inner state. A woman filled with bitterness, insecurity, or envy will pass that weight onto you, whether she intends to or not. Over time, this creates a constant drain, where every interaction leaves you weaker than before. But a woman with grounded character will do the opposite. Her presence will stabilize you. She doesn't need chaos to feel alive, and she doesn't need to tear you down to feel secure. Instead, she adds to your strength, your focus, and your peace. This is not about perfection, it's about the energy exchange. The psychology here is subtle but critical. Humans naturally sync with the emotional frequency of those closest to them. If her energy is toxic, yours will bend toward it until you're carrying her chaos as your own. But if her energy is rooted in discipline, balance, and gratitude, your life will expand in that direction. So test her energy. Ask yourself, is she a storm that drains or a steady flame that warms? Because no matter how attractive someone is, if their presence leaves you weaker, their character is already telling you the truth. Number 10. The final reflection. In the end, her character is not revealed in one test, one moment, or one situation. Anyone can pass a single test by accident, just as anyone can fail one on a bad day. The truth of who she is will only emerge over time, through patterns, not performances. Think of it like this. A single act can be faked, but consistency cannot. If she treats people kindly once, that could be a mask, but if she does it consistently, that's who she is. If she respects your silence one time, that may be restraint. But if she respects it every time, that's character. Her real self is written in the repetition of her choices, not the exceptions. The psychology is simple. Humans can perform roles for short bursts, but over time, their nature always bleeds through. This is why patience is your greatest weapon. Don't rush to judge based on charm, beauty, or early excitement. Let the truth reveal itself. Her habits will tell you everything her words try to hide. And here's the final reflection. Character is not about perfection. It's about integrity, respect, and consistency. If her words, her actions, and her energy align, if she uplifts you, respects you, and stands with you in storms, that is a woman of real value. But if you see patterns of disrespect, entitlement, gossip, or manipulation, believe them, because patterns don't lie. So test her character not by what she claims, but by what she consistently shows. Over time, the truth always reveals itself, and once you see it clearly, the choice is yours, whether to keep her close or to walk away. And there you have it, 10 powerful ways to test a woman's character and see her true nature beyond the surface. Remember, it's not about one sign, one reaction, or one moment. It's about the patterns that reveal who she really is over time. Don't let words or appearances blind you. Her actions, her energy, and her consistency will tell you everything you need to know. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these tests hit you the hardest? Which one opened your eyes the most? Drop a comment below with the phrase, character over charm. That way, I'll know you're someone who values truth over illusions. If this video gave you clarity, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another lesson. And share this with someone who needs to see through the mask. Because once you learn to spot these signs, you'll never waste your time on the wrong person again. Stay strong, stay disciplined, and remember, True power is in your ability to walk away from anything that doesn't respect you.